Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
We're back for episode 201 of the Massenomics podcast. The lifting podcast about nothing. Your two hosts are here again. My name's Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
We're both on that episode 200 hangover right now.
And it is a tough one.
Start of season 3.
Yep.
We gotta start out slow and build up to that 300th episode here.
We should start out slow, but not so slow that we forget to read our sponsors.
That's true. Good point. Today's show is brought to you by Lifting Large. Lifting Large has set a new standard for customer service within the strength world. They have live website chat support and speedy email responses. Lifting Large is the home to ground lock deadlift slippers, and they are always in stock and ready to ship. Massenomics listeners can save 20% on all Lifting Large branded products by using our discount code MASS20 at checkout. Today's episode is also brought to you by Spud Inc. The goal of Spud Inc. straps is to make products that support sports performance and help everyone achieve their training goals. They make products that last forever, won't bust your budget, and most importantly, leave no doubt about success when everything is on the line. Check them out online at spud-inc-straps.com. This episode is also brought to you by Hybrid Performance Method. They're your one-stop shop for all things fitness and online coaching. Whether your goals are training-related, nutrition and body composition-related, or both, Hybrid has a program for you. With dedicated and experienced coaches in each strength and fitness discipline, you can rest assured that you're in the best hands possible. Make sure to use our discount code MASS, M-A-S-S, in all caps for 5% off any training or nutrition memberships for the life of your membership. Visit hybridperformancemethod.com. We are back from 200, and what a ride 200 was.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a very fast hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. It was an experimental episode. I think we maybe talked about it a little bit at the end of the podcast, but I don't know how much. But we really didn't know for sure how well that would work. We had it planned out to a certain degree, but
yeah, we didn't really know. And also, we had recorded one with we did one quick test recording something and listening back, and we're like, all right, this is feasible. This works. But to call 4 different people on 4 different, hear it on 4 different phones. Some of them were using phone calls. Some were going through like Facebook phone messenger, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah. First time using that's for sure.
And somehow it all worked. And with the exception of just because of the app that Tyler had, that you could hear it in the app, but that was not a recording thing. That was an app thing. But besides that, I think they all sounded pretty good listening back on them.
I think so too, for sure.
Yeah.
And we're not done there. We do have a guest for today's episode also.
We do.
And that's going to be none other than the Fat Owl, Mr. Matt Vincent of Hate Brand Goods. Hopefully he's not too busy spreading hate and partying, because I think he's kind of always partying. So
yeah. Well, yeah. Hopefully he can find the time to answer a phone call. Otherwise, this is going to be a massive letdown in 30 minutes here, because we will not be editing this out. So
right, you'll have to listen to us. We can leave a message on his phone if he has a voicemail set up.
Well, we'll just do this. If he doesn't answer, we'll just give everyone his phone number. Right?
That's like the punishment.
We have to set the standard right away so people know we're firm about this stuff,
so that you don't leave us hanging.
Yeah, if we get left hanging, people will pay a severe punishment for it.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Super Bowl was this weekend, though.
It was. And you know what I was thinking of? Like anyone on Super Bowl Sunday, I realized that we forgot to get the official Massenomics picks in. I think every year we've put in the official Massenomics picks.
That's true.
And we forgot to do it.
Damn it. Could we do it after the fact?
It was the episode 200 excitement that threw us all off.
I would have been right, though, because I was picking the Chiefs. So.
I wanted the Chiefs to win.
Yeah.
But in my head, I thought the 49ers are probably going to. And it actually looked like that right up until the end, when the Chiefs did a little more of their Chiefs playoff magic.
Yeah.
And I had fun with it. I liked it. I'm always foreseeing like small market team wins.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a little Midwest-ish.
Yeah, a little Midwest-ish. And just a team that doesn't have, what do the 49ers have? 7 Super Bowls or whatever?
Right, yes.
Like, okay, they got enough for like the next 50 years.
Right, they're good.
Let's get some other teams, have, it's been a while since I've had one, but.
Yeah. But still, when you have that many, it's like, do the Steelers need to win again? It's not
no,
it's not like, I really hope the Cowboys get another Super Bowl win.
I don't want any of those teams to win anymore.
So what was it, 50 years for the Chiefs? I love that old picture. I mean, it really surfaced a lot this year, but it was the Chiefs quarterback from back then. I think it was even halftime of like the Super Bowl when he's sitting, drinking, smoking a cigarette and drinking, I don't know what he's got, like a pop or something underneath of his chair.
Peak human performance, right? They knew something we didn't.
It is so funny to think that at halftime of a football game, you'd be smoking a cigarette and having a pop.
Mm-hmm. Just, it's been a stressful.
God, wouldn't you feel like crap?
Oh, God. Yeah, I'd feel terrible. I would feel terrible in the middle of athletic activity, even having like a LaCroix. And then
I wouldn't want that.
Like, this is anything bubbly, fizzy.
Yeah.
You want to go run around with that? Speaking of that, Tanner, we have a can this week.
Oh, what's in the can?
Let's get to it.
Is this a game? Is this a segment?
This is a segment, so you need to guess.
Okay. I'm guessing it's in a can.
So far, you are correct.
Okay, I'll try not to look here. Do we have a little what's in the can music?
Give me a hell yeah.
That's pretty much
pretty
can
good,
music right there.
Stone Cold.
Yeah,
Give me a hell yeah.
That's basically can music.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a good.
Yeah, good pop. Good pop on that one.
I felt something that made me feel like I might know somewhat what I'm.
It's very aromatic. I'm going to say that.
And I'll tell you what, when I flipped my pop topper, it was a solid pop topper, and I think that Bubblies have a solid pop topper.
Okay.
LaCroix don't, I don't think, from my experience, but I could feel that when my finger went underneath of it that it's solid. Boy, it does smell good. It's peach. I feel like it smells like peach. That's the first time I've ever really had like a real opinion right away. If it's not peach, maybe like mango, something related to peach, but I think maybe I could say peach or mango. I'm going to say peach.
Okay.
Is what I taste.
Do you want to pull the
And
curtain?
I'm saying it's like a sparkling water.
Do you want to pull the curtain back and find out?
It is a bubbly, right? Oh, mango. Damn it.
Almost I think that is the closest you've ever been to.
Well, it's the first time I've felt like I really
had it.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a mango guy? Do you like mango flavored stuff?
I like mango. When we're in Florida, there's a mango tree at the
residence?
Yeah, at the residence, and they're excellent fresh off the yeah.
I'm not
But I like this.
I'm not a huge mango guy, but I mean this is enjoyable. But I'm also not a huge mango guy.
Mm-hmm. This has a lot more smell than your average. I think from the bubblies we've had on here,
I think they're stronger flavor.
They are. I think they're stronger than LaCroix in general, aren't they?
Like they put it next to two different fruits before instead of just one to let the smell rub off on it.
Yes. I wonder if there's more artificial sweeteners in it than there is in.
It says no calories, no sweeteners.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, hard to say.
I wonder how, like, in
just
like
a mystery.
20, 30 years, they'll say that something that's in these sparkling
it's just terrible
like,
for you.
Like we
cancer
all
causing.
have cancer from it. Like, chalk it up to everything else, I guess.
You know, the cell phones, podcasting equipment, all that stuff.
I mean, people often speak of the water or the tap water that's available in this town as it being
not
extremely
the best.
toxic. I mean, I know it has a certain taste and smell, but I can't not drink.
You gotta have it.
Yeah,
gotta have it. Tanner, I noticed you have the red lift shirt on. I have the blue lift shirt on. You're like the yin to my yang.
That's right. This isn't a coordinated event, but
it just happens that way.
You can purchase that on our store. You cannot purchase this, unfortunately.
Red.
If I don't make that clear now, so I know
we're
going to get about 4. I know we'll get about
like
4 or 5 DMs.
If there's a red shirt or a red ink involved, you almost have to know somebody to get that one.
Yep. Let's see, what shirt did I wear? I did a couple retro shirts, Massenomics shirts in a few episodes. I did the Massenomics is numero uno.
Yep.
Someone messaged about that, wondering where they can get that one.
That's been gone for a little while now.
Yep, you kind of missed the boat on that one. I don't know if that will ever bring that back even. That's kind of be.
Never say never, you know.
That's true.
You know, if enough people sign an online petition saying they will buy one, who are we to deny them, right?
That's fair. Did you give this a rating?
I did not give it a rating. I will give this 3.5 JD Power and Associates Awards.
Me too. That's kind of our go-to.
You know,
that's kind of what it is.
Real middle of the road.
Yeah,
just
but
like
hot. good middle of the road.
It's
though.
a good middle of the road. It's on the road,
right?
So it's got that going for it.
Are you still putting bubbly below LaCroix?
I think so, just because I feel like that's my OG brand. I got to stick with it.
Yeah, they're also like less fancy flavors.
Oh yeah, there's no
bubbly,
level
it's
of sophistication
apple.
here. Mango, come on, give me something to work with, but whatever.
That's why I thought maybe it was peach, because peach to me sounded like a bubbly flavor, like just peach.
Yep, just straight old peach. One of the things about the Super Bowl, Tanner, that really caught my eye. Okay, so there's
the halftime show,
the halftime, whatever.
Yeah,
I see. There's some people freaking out about it being amazing. Some people freaking out about it sucking. I'm like, has Jennifer Lopez had a song that's really been relevant since 2003?
I don't know. Does she like make music?
She does.
Okay.
She has music. I don't hear anyone like that's the anthem of anyone's youth or experiences now.
No,
her songs in 2000 to 2000 or what was it, 99 to 03?
Right.
Those things absolutely were like bangers and anthems for people's lives. I don't think she does that anymore. So part of me was like, well, I get it. She's just like at that level, the Super Bowl is just a thing where it's like, all right, we got to just appeal to the most amount of people and be kind of sort of as inoffensive as possible. But her and Shakira both, I don't think they've had songs that anyone cares about for 15 years.
What's Shakira's one song that it wasn't extremely popular necessarily in the United States, but it was
not Hips Don't Lie.
No. It's none of those. It was really popular for like the World Cup.
I don't even see.
But it's not.
Thing I
but
know
it, like
nothing
internationally, it was really popular, like a mega international hit. But like here, it wasn't even.
Yeah,
it's like Waka Waka, I think is what it's called. Yeah,
I don't even know.
Like my son Jack knew about it
he?
because it's, I don't know, but it was, and I looked it up. I was like, how do you know this song? And I looked it up, and it was, and sold a tons, but not really necessarily in the United States.
Yeah, and there was nothing wrong with the performance. The performance was fine. I mean, it was fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But as far as I'm concerned, it's just like I don't like. To me, all the songs that were there these were songs that were really big for a brief period in time in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And that seems like a weird criteria to have someone as an artist on. Like, it's not, I don't think they're making music that's relevant today, really. And they haven't for a while. I don't, that's just kind of, I guess I was coming at it from a musical perspective.
That's a pretty fair take, but people love to get like, I can't remember the last Super Bowl halftime show that I haven't seen tons of people get mad about.
Oh yeah, everyone's like
why?
Everyone's this major critic, and I get it. I'm complaining about it too.
Right.
But my whole take was the performance, fine. The music, I didn't think most people cared. So to me, I was just like, the whole thing was kind of blah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are going they must listen to the over-under rules because they are using their druthers and picking a side on that,
For sure. The most interesting part of the whole thing, I think, is just how Jennifer Lopez is 50 and like in really good shape.
She definitely is.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, no doubt about that. Like you see the memes going around. It's like 50-year-olds in the 90s, and it like shows a picture of one of the Golden Girls, and then it's like 50-year-olds today. Like, modern science, has it gone too far?
It's pretty weird.
It is like crazy. It really is crazy. But
when someone can, when she's 25 years older than when she was more popular, and she's probably better looking now than she was when she was 25 years older.
Too. Yeah. It's bizarre, man. Really weird stuff.
Her and A-Rod.
But one of the things about the Super Bowl. Okay, right away. Was there any ads that stuck out to you?
Well,
outside of the one we're going to talk about here.
One we're going to talk about.
The one that
Jason Momoa, as heard
that
on
was the one that
overrated, underrated.
I did enjoy the Jason Momoa one. I thought that was pretty funny,
especially since there's an overrated, underrated tie to that. Since he's been
I did enjoy the.
I thought that was
being
pretty
the tough
funny.
guy and then kind of stripping it all down,
literally like taking his arms off as he gets,
and then his hair and everything.
Yeah,
that was
bald.
I did enjoy that one.
That one was pretty good. That's almost like as I even try to think back,
Tide had tried to do the thing with Charlie Day or whoever, where they kept having him come back in all their commercials about the stain, and then he was in a Bud Light commercial. It was like this ongoing thing, which I think he's funny, but it's commercial. I didn't really care about.
No. There was, what about was it Google, the like really sad one?
I watched that one, and while I was watching, I'm like, oh, because typically to me, that's like the card Apple tries to play. The really we're elevating technology above a
to
point
the point
of being
like
technology.
it's changing your life.
Yeah,
like
to be
it's a
like
life,
this is part of your life and who you are, not
Yeah.
just this is the coolest device.
right.
And I thought while I'm watching, I'm like, okay, Google's totally like they figured out how to do it like Apple does
Yeah,
it.
right.
And it got done, and it was a touching one. But some people were like, it wrecked me. And okay,
Yeah.
we're watching it. You're probably like stuffing your face.
So
With just,
what are they even saying though? What's the technology there?
I think it was.
So do you just go up to your computer and tell it to remember?
Well, no, I think it
things?
was like the Google Home and stuff. Just when you're
Oh,
talking to
okay.
it, you just say Google,
Gotcha.
remember this and this, and then
It-
whether you want it to recall that or if you want to go to like a page and you
Yeah.
can look at like notes of all the stuff that it made.
Joke is, even without you telling them,
It already
they are
knows.
remembering
It
everything.
already
Yes.
knows.
I'd be like, Google, forget all of those things you were listening
Google,
to.
please forget.
Yeah.
Google, don't remember any of this. It's going to be bad.
I wonder if that's an option. If you can,
I mean, it might be an option, but it's definitely not forgetting it. It might think that it might let you
It might
think
trick
it's an
you into
option.
thinking
Yeah.
that it's forgetting it, but it's still there somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, but the ad that caught me off guard, and I'm glad you know more about this than I do, is I've noticed Facebook is trying to do. I think it's a relatively smart marketing thing for them, where they're, everyone knows what Facebook is. What are you going to advertise Facebook? That doesn't
Right.
really make sense even. So
Like, hey, get a Facebook account.
it's like they kind of are saturated. Like
Yeah,
that ship is kind
your
of
great
sailed.
grandmother's
Yeah,
like,
like,
oh,
that-
I've already got a Facebook. What's this commercial?
That one's
for?"
been done.
Yeah.
But now they're trying to do the groups thing, which I think a lot of people probably, if you're an infrequent user, you're not touching that part of it. So it's making you aware. And so they're shining the light on all of these really obscure groups of things you can join on Facebook. And I've seen a variety of them, but on the Super Bowl commercial, they had another commercial that had a few more different groups. And one of them said starting strongman.
Yep.
And right away, I'm thinking, is that a coincidence that they just combined those two words? Or is that really
The starting strong.
like, are they really
yeah.
talking about the starting strongman group? And you
It-
know
it-
more about
yes,
this.
it is the Starting Strongman group run by Cale Beck, who runs Starting Strongman, the podcast. We've referenced him. We've talked to him about many things back and forth over the last few years, and it is his Starting Strongman Facebook group. He's had that Facebook group is not new. It's been out there for a long time,
yeah.
just like his Instagram and website have all been out there for a long time. And they got this ad out there. He's in it. You can see he's in there for like a second.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Okay,
him.
so I don't know how many months ago this was. A several months back, he got a Facebook Messenger message.
It said, "This is Mark Zuckerberg."
Well, I don't. Yeah, it
everything-
didn't-
I know
yes.
everything you've been doing
It's
on
like,
your phone.
Do as I command, or else. Mark Zuckerberg on Saturday Night Live. The guy's like, have you ever seen the guy? I think it's like Mikey Day or whatever is the one that plays him, and he's like, and he says the things out loud that he's supposed to do next, like he's like telling himself to do that. It's like all completely unnatural. He's like, smile now. And then he's like, laugh, ha 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 ha, and he's just like a very forced fake laugh.
Just totally robotic.
Yes,
Yeah.
a complete robot. But I don't know that it was Facebook that reached out to him, but someone reached out to him and said, "Hey, do you want to be involved in an advertisement for Facebook?" And that was about as specific it was at first. It wasn't telling him that this is going to be a Super Bowl ad.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't necessarily know that going into it. I thought that was pretty interesting, that it was almost kind of like a secret that this is going to be a Super Bowl ad. I don't think they were advertising that at first, and went along with it. And he had to get people from the group. Like, he had to kind of recruit
They
people.
wanted to keep it authentic.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
that's part of it. So yes, he did have to get somebody. He also kind of had to explain what was going on, but he didn't know for sure it was a Super Bowl. If you told someone, "Hey, do you want to be in a commercial for the Super Bowl?" You're like, yes.
Yeah,
I'll
everyone.
drop
yeah.
everything. But that wasn't necessarily what they knew at the time. So he did recruit enough people to come do it, and I think they shot it in L.A. Like, they flew him, or he went to L.A. They put him up in like a really nice hotel, I think. And but there was also actors involved too.
Was there?
Yeah, and Charity Witt was one of them, and not like in the group, but like as an actor. I think they had her.
I didn't see any of these. I must have not been paying that close of attention.
Well,
because
I don't know if you can see her in there or not, because they're outside of the Super Bowl ad. Just like with anything, I think when most of the times when they're shooting ad,
just
there's
everything gets
multiple.
cut.
Yeah. They cut.
Well,
more
and
than
really, was starting strongman on the screen for more than 4
I think like
seconds?
a second or two, or 3 seconds maybe.
Whatever it was.
But he did kind of say that there was acting involved, some actors involved, which I don't think he necessarily liked that much, but also not complaining too much. You're like, yeah, I don't care about that too much.
The nature of the
but I
beast
just
or
think that's interesting that you go and there are actors involved. But the first time they went, they got flown there or whatever, and the weather was bad, so they had to cancel it. And he thought that like that was going to be it. Like there wasn't like a reschedule. It was kind of like, well, shit, you missed your chance, and then they did reschedule it later on, and they got to have a second chance at it.
And it just like goes to show like how insane just the budgets are for all this
Yes.
stuff. Like how many
people,
tens of thousands they actually end up spending between flying people, like scheduling these shoots for all this stuff, having it fail, do it the whole thing again.
Yes.
For a couple seconds of footage.
Yeah,
it's just
right.
on a
yes
level
for a couple seconds of footage.
That, like,
but what did they say the 30-second spot cost? Like $6 million or something like that.
Well, that's like my wife is like $5 million, $6 million. How do people do that? I'm like, most of these commercials probably had budgets of hundreds of thousands to millions, depending on how many people are in them and what's going on.
And if you're Facebook, what's $10 million in advertise? Really, I don't think it's all that significant.
I would say it's a write off, but I don't think they pay taxes anyways. So I don't know if it really. It probably is a moot point,
Right. I was thinking if there's a couple other points about that I thought were interesting that he said. I did see that within an hour of it airing, he took a screenshot of his Facebook and he had 500 requests to join the group.
Really?
Within just maybe it was like even 30 minutes of that. And that just for that 1 second it was on
kind
there.
of surprises me
Yeah.
because I feel like if you're into strongman, you know that it's not like the world's most popular culture. You have to do some work. And I don't think you have to do that much work to run across starting strongman, right?
I don't think so.
But I guess, what's the Super Bowl play to? How many tens of millions?
Right.
Even if 0.00001% of those people were like, oh, I didn't run across that. You're still at easily 500 people.
Right. Yes, exactly. And I think that's what's happening.
Yeah,
You're just
a total numbers game at that point.
Yep. But I bet it was kind of like, holy crap, that's probably like a year's worth of people.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool.
Definitely.
Too bad they didn't want Massenomics. We should have had a Facebook group. Maybe we need a Facebook group.
We need a Facebook group for people that love overpriced shorts. And then talk about obscure Facebook groups.
I guess our problem is not really utilizing Facebook almost at all.
Okay, yes, you are completely right there.
The people that follow us also probably not utilizing Facebook.
The fact that Facebook is almost unusable for businesses at this point. Like it's just don't do anything on it and expect anything to turn out unless you're like a local business. I don't know if
right.
I don't know. Do big brands invest money into Facebook still?
I don't know.
I just feel like you see so few ads from big companies now even.
Right. Yeah, I think it's really Facebook where the people that it's advantageous for are local businesses that rely on local customers. I think there's still probably a good market for that too.
Yeah. I mean, the website is just like unbearable. I think everyone can agree on that.
Yes.
It just sucks. But it's the day we live in. We just have to deal with it, I guess.
So, what about the meat that we had here, though?
The meat. Salami?
Yes. We had a little
aged salami.
Cured meats.
Cured meats, yes. Also, there is speaking of Facebook, there is a very funny video of Mark Zuckerberg and his buddies. They're like grilling, and he says smoked meats probably 1,000 times. These smoked meats. It keeps saying it, like a robot would.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just to let everyone know that he is also a regular old person that likes human food.
Smoked meats.
So the hybrid meat. Also this weekend, kind of a weird choice for a weekend.
Yeah,
to me.
Right on Super Bowl Sunday.
To the point that there was even people lifting on Super Bowl Sunday.
Right. And this was the Hybrid Showdown 2, I think, or something. Maybe the name.
I would have. Did they have a live stream? I'm not even sure.
I don't know. Not that I know of. If there was, No, I don't know.
If there was, it might have been overshadowed by the Super Bowl.
Correct. Yes.
So yeah, I wasn't completely. I mean, I knew
Well, and it was in Miami too.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I was like,
Yeah, that's
really weird.
There's just so much stuff going on in Florida at that point.
Boy,
Miami.
So all those lifters traveled to Miami during the Super Bowl. Yeah, man. Damn, I never even thought about that until you mentioned it right now. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, busy weekend down there.
Yeah.
But, anyway, they did have the meet, and there were some big performances that happened.
There was some big lifts.
Some big lifts. Is this a big lift segment?
I guess this is a big lift segment.
God, it's been a while since we've done a big lift
Is there
segment.
a little big lifts music?
We can find one. There it is.
Big lifts.
Big lifts. So probably the big one that there was a lot, but probably the biggest one that I've noticed had the most traction, has the most people talking, is the Jamal Browner.
Yes.
And that being that he did pull 971.
Yes, I think that's right.
Actually?
Yep.
It was a fourth attempt, so it doesn't count towards his total, but it does still count as a deadlift entry, which gives him at 242, correct?
Right, 242.
So 242, he has now the highest deadlift of all time at 242 with 971 pounds.
Beating Yuri Belkin by a pound or something.
Is that all it was?
Well, I think Yuri pulled 970 in
It was,
in
okay.
a WR.
Well,
PF
judging
meet.
by how it went, assuming Jamal could hang on to it, I mean, like 1,020 is there.
He tried 1,005 today.
Did he really?
And it shot off the ground, but he didn't quite get it. But I'm like,
God.
so what is today? Tuesday?
Yeah.
So he tried it 2 days later.
Well, he kind of did the same thing after his last meet.
Yeah. Does he
that was
YOLO?
probably like 6 months ago or so. And yeah, he pulled that 1,000 pounds off the ground. Because we talked about like how that's maybe the heaviest sumo pull of all time.
Right. The 971 deadlift though
Looked so easy.
I was almost confused. I was like, is this a weird angle? And you can't see that he's like not walking it out well or something, because it's like, how could it possibly be that easy?
That's the one if you showed someone that doesn't lift a sumo deadlift like that, saying that's 970, someone would be like, well, I could probably do like 500 then, right? Like if that's how easy 970 looks,
Right.
most people are going to think I could probably do 500 plus sumo right now.
He really, unlike anyone else, like Kaler's doesn't remind me of this, or not really even Yuri's, where it's like so easy.
Yeah, and it's so smooth the whole way.
Yeah.
Like Yuri's always looked pretty easy, but he kind of has like a certain snap to it. Where these ones just fly off the ground. Makes no sense at all. And I think that's what everyone says. I haven't seen anyone like not agree with that statement.
Like it really, it's like that something has to be fake.
But even conventional, have you ever seen anyone pull 970 conventional that easy? Like any of the
I don't think that's
I
possible to do that like that. I don't know. It's really crazy the way he did that. If that would have counted for his total, assuming if he would have taken it on his third attempt, he would have totaled over 2,200 pounds, or I think like right at 2,200 pounds, something like that.
Yeah, it's getting up there. And we are talking, so he has the all-time world record now.
In sleeves.
In sleeves, yep.
He beat Kevin Oak, and then third would be Kevin, like within the last year, beat Larry Wheels for that record, Larry's old record, and now Jamal is now the record holder in that, which I don't think a year ago, if you would have said, that guy, Jamal Browner, like everyone would be like, at that point, you're like, yeah, he's got a really good deadlift, right? Like a really crazy deadlift.
Well, a lot of people would just say who?
Yeah, right, right. But now it's like, oh no, he is the best lifter at 242 pounds in sleeves of all time.
Mm-hmm. And assuming he stays around there, I would just think that lift's good. He'll have a bigger deadlift. His squat and bench are just going to keep going up too.
Right. It sure seems like he's going to deadlift 1,000 pounds, right?
It would be surprising if he didn't. Like even in the next year, right?
Who do you think is going to be the first person? Benedict Magnuson has already did it, in a powerlifting standard, but who's going to be the first powerlift? I guess, the next person to deadlift 1,000 pounds in a powerlifting meet. There's Yuri, Jamal, and Kaler have all deadlifted like 970 pounds now, about.
I wouldn't be surprised if any of those guys did it. I would absolutely not be surprised. But with the ease that he still has 970 and how fast he's come up all of a sudden, it seems like Jamal.
That's what I would say,
like
too.
Yuri's been floating right around that 910 to 9, actually even like 890 to 940 mark for a couple of years now.
Right.
We're not seeing crazy progress there anymore. It seems like, all right, This is
he's kind of kicked up his squat a little bit. His squat's better.
But yeah, it's not like he's still just every meet's putting 10 pounds on his deadlift.
right.
That's not the case. I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen.
No.
But
if you just had to pick who.
But yeah, looking at the curve.
Kaler's made a lot of progress. Yeah. Kaler has made progress, but even like this last one, he did this world record.
They're not easy.
No, it wasn't like, well, he should have done 40 more pounds.
It's a world record.
Right.
That's how it should
right.
Look.
Yes, that's normal.
It goes to show again why it seems like Jamal has the preference here. He is, I don't know, does he have 10 meets to his name? I don't really know what his history is. I haven't looked him up
I'm not
on
sure.
Open Powerlifting
I
do
honestly
the deep
don't know.
dive. But assuming he doesn't have a ton of meets under his belt, you want to think that there's more in the tank there.
Yeah, and I do think he's probably has the technique that if he's going to get it, it always looks easy until he can't get it anymore.
I think so,
where I think that's more common when you're like pretty technically proficient. Some of the best squatters and stuff, like when they get it, it's always
Julius Maddox.
Julius Maddox on bench press. The people that are the best in the world at that individual lift.
It's just, that's how they do it.
That's how they do it until they can't do it anymore, because they're not like terribly breaking technique in order to get the lift. Like they're doing it technically almost perfect, and then eventually they just can't. It's really a strength limitation for them at that point. It's not a technique issue in any way. It's just I am just not strong enough to do more than that today.
Well, and like the same thing with Kaler, like his form, like for him, it doesn't even really look tough until like he gets to like 900.
Right.
Like when he pulls 850, it seems like it goes the same speed as anything that he does.
Right.
And Yuri's the same way too. It just all of his basically look exactly the same. So. Other big lifts though. There were other big lifts at this meet.
Kevin Oak squatted 860 in sleeves, so that was I think 242 squat world record.
Yes. Yep. I believe so. And then seemed like he just kind of like put token lifts in for for bench and deadlift. I don't know if that was the intention. I don't really know what.
I don't know. I think he's done that before too. But also he is like a borderline world record holder in multiple weight classes for total too. So it's like, I guess you can kind of do whatever you want.
Yep. Other big names on the list. They had Tom Callis.
I think Tom said he kind of hurt his something when he squatted a little bit.
Yep, that's what his post made it seem like.
The interesting there on Tom was that Garrett Fear was side judging for Tom's squat, and those two have a hit. Garrett's the squat depth police of the universe.
Yep.
Out there. So, and I think those two, they probably don't have any major beef with each other, but just a little Instagram stuff that goes on, and I don't think either of them are all that censored. So it probably, there's some negative things said back and forth, but it was pretty interesting that Garrett Fear was side judging for Tom Callison. I think he got white lights. So
okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
Kept it objective. Then, I would assume. Hayden competed as well.
Yeah.
And then Steffi. I should have just said Steffi in the first place if I didn't already.
Yeah, she set a world record. She dropped down a weight class. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what that weight class is for sure.
She weighed in at 51.8. So I always forget if that weight class is 52 or 54. I never remember what that is.
And she set the all-time world record for that weight class, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, with the total of 510. So times 2, you're at like 1020, 1130-ish or something like that.
And I don't think, she's got the 698 Wilks out there, and I don't think she was like in danger of breaking that.
No, her Wilks was like 637.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still insane.
Only 637.
Yeah. Still insane, but yeah, it wasn't close to her all-time Wilks performance.
Right.
Other big names, there was a rookie card created after this meet.
John Call,
or for those that don't know him, Juji Mufu.
Probably everyone doesn't know his name.
For everyone that's listening right now, Juji Mufu is who we're talking about.
1736.
Kind of surprising, his first ever powerlifting meet.
Yeah. So he squatted and deadlifted 666.9 pounds.
That's how I like to do my meets, just squat and deadlift the same.
Yes. Donnie Thompson liked that.
He did make a comment about that.
Donnie likes the squats, not so much the deadlifts.
He is definitely a squat guy. There's no doubt about that.
He kind of
he's
out on record on that.
I'll go on that side too. Squats, yeah.
But a lot of people getting on us about the numbers of his.
The exact numbers.
Yeah.
Yep. There was. It goes back to powerlifting is nearly impossible to capture correct data on. Don't know how open powerlifting does anything that they do because
I think they just don't listen to people when they
they don't open it up for discussion.
Right.
That's
the
their
secret. Yes.
Yeah. Don't kind of get the community involved, but not enough for them to really be involved.
Like you can be involved a little bit, but
Yeah.
don't give us too
Like
much
you
of
can
your
be
opinions
involved enough
because
to
we don't
look.
care that much. Yeah.
Enough to look, but don't be annoying. And correct us on fourth attempts or whatever it was.
Right.
So yeah, we had a rookie card for Chuchimufu.
Very popular rookie card, not surprisingly.
It was.
Since it's
Yep, it was. Massenomics super supporter Les Keys.
yes,
Of Les
squatted
Keys.
606
Yep, Les
and
Keys
deadlifted
strength
606. Him and Juji must have been on that. We're gonna squat what we deadlift kick.
Mm-hmm. So he had a pretty. I believe that was a PR meet in all respects for him.
I think every lift and total. Then of course.
Yep. And I'm just looking through the list. They had like 100 people. We already said Kevin Oak, Huck Finn. He did
The
kind of
one-arm bench.
a token 1-arm bench.
Yeah. I think he had tore his pec recently.
Yeah. His recovery must not have been on point or something.
Not enough Miller Lights.
So that's everything that's happened in the strength world in the last. Actually, not everything. Was it just this past week? Did Thor deadlift like 1,000
for a double?
Was it 1,000 for a double or 1,005?
Yeah, maybe 1,005 for a double.
That's getting up there. It's almost like the Arnold's around the corner or something.
I think it is. He's ready apparently, and the deadlift is still an event. So maybe he's actually maybe someone is going to break the 1,100 thing, and
That'd
we
be
could
pretty cool.
I hope it happens. So I want to see it, and then then we could like put it to bed for a little while.
Well, but it wouldn't be on calibrated plates, and it wouldn't be on the right bar.
Yes,
so it's never going to be put to bed.
That's true.
It never will.
You are correct.
We do have a phone call to make, though, Tanner. But before that, we have ads to read out. So
even more important than our phone call.
More
friends.
important than any phone call is, of course, ads. The Massenomics podcast is brought to you by Spud Inc. and the Spud Inc. Strongman Harness. You may not be pulling a Viking ship like Brian Shaw or Eddie Hall or even Thor for that matter, but we are talking about the History Channel here. On History Channel's The Strongest Man in History, but this harness can help you mere mortals with your sled and truck pulls. The Strongman Harness is built from the toughest material available to pull the heaviest cars, trucks, and planes. And remember, picks or it didn't happen. With a lower pulling angle than most harnesses, the Strongman harness gives athletes better leverage and easier breathing. And with a crossed brace point on the backside, the harness stays exactly where you put it. No slipping ever. The Strongman harness is built to fit athletes of all sizes, from the novice strongman just starting out to the next world's strongest man contender. Check out Spud Inc. and the Strongman harness online at spud-inc-straps.com. Today's show is also brought to you by Lifting Large. Lifting Large sets the new standard for customer service within the strength world. Get email responses in hours, not days. They now have live website chat support available during the weekdays, so you can get advice from a real powerlifter with actual platform experience. The Lifting Large team wants to help you achieve new PRs in the gym and on the competition stage. When you're ready to try single ply and make your way over to the dark side, give them a call.
The dark side.
Lifting Large is the home of the Ground Lock Deadlift Slipper, always in stock and ready to ship. Massenomics listeners can save 20% on all Lifting Large branded products by using discount code MASS20 at checkout. That's MASS20 to save 20% on all Lifting Large branded items. Place your orders at liftinglarge.com, and you can follow them on Instagram at liftinglarge.com. That's liftinglarge.com. And last but definitely not least, this episode is brought to you by the Hybrid Performance Method. If you've been training without a coach and have been looking for a competitive edge, remember to check out hybridperformancemethod.com. Hybrid has 15 different strength and fitness programs covering everything from powerlifting and strongman to gymnastics and general fitness, all included in one training membership. That's not all. Hybrid also offers one-on-one personalized nutrition coaching that uses lifestyle habits and a flexible approach to shape your nutrition plan around your current lifestyle instead of turning your lifestyle upside down in order to support unsustainable habits that only work in the short run the way most programs do. If you are ready to take your training, your nutrition, or both to the next level, use code MASS in all caps, that's MASS, for 5% off the membership to all programs for the life of your membership. And when you do that, you know you're going to be hitting that button again and again.
Money in the bank.
So get on that, people. Thank you to our sponsors, Hybrid, Spud Inc., and Lifting Large. Check those guys out.
Now, let's
do a little jingling.
give our friend Matt a call.
Boys, it is very close to bedtime.
Well, we're not keeping you up, are we?
No, I'm fine.
Well, this
Okay,
is
good.
the first ever episode of Late Nights with Matt Vincent.
Perfect. Good. I got another half a joint to finish.
Matt, quick bone to pick with you right off the bat. I was
Excellent.
on Hate Brand Goods website here not too long ago, and I noticed you were selling some shorts on there that also maybe weren't all that inexpensive. Are you trying to horn in on our marketplace here?
Look, man, if the market has set the price of shorts based on you guys, I just follow suit.
That's fair.
That's a smart businessman.
Yes.
And then, if at that price, I essentially just need to sell one pair of shorts. I'm good for the year.
Well, now you're talking our business model.
This is brilliant. It's all profit.
You handle way less inventory,
And way
way
more
more profit.
Do you just dump a ton into like just one good Instagram ad?
Yes,
We'd like to target Friday for about 12 grand.
Just putting all that money down on one chip and just letting it
Oh,
go.
what a bummer.
Matt, where are you at right now?
I'm in St. Louis. Just got back from Miami.
Were you at the hybrid showdown, or
yeah,
were you
yeah.
at
We
the
went
Super
down
Bowl?
there to hang out. No, God, fucking Super Bowl. What a disaster.
Well, we were just talking about the hybrid showdown meet and it being at Miami on the same weekend as the Super Bowl. Like, was that an ordeal, or?
You know, I expected it to be more of one, but honestly, because like the stadium's so far away from downtown that
Okay.
kind of the area where hybrid is in the Arts District or in Wynwood it was pretty normal for the other times I've been down there.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Maybe
good.
not as big of a deal. The stuff we talked about earlier maybe doesn't make sense anymore, though. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Well,
being the
we
Super
were
Bowl
just
team.
talking as people that have never been to Miami, but you could imagine what it'd be like if we did. though.
Yeah, Miami's not my favorite city.
Okay.
It's a bit of a clusterfuck.
But is it true
But, I
that
mean,
you can party in the city where the heat is on all night?
that's what
in the
I've
city
learned
till the
from
break of
William
dawn?
Smith.
Yeah.
and like any other William that's written and we've learned from, Shakespeare or anyone else, the Smith version is one that I have always taken a lot of honesty from.
As you should.
Yeah, and it's an interesting city. I like going to see Steffi and Hayden. They're fucking awesome, and
Yep.
They always put on a great meet. And so if I can go down there and be part of that and show some support, man, I'm happy to do so.
What were some of the highlights of the day for you?
Other than Steffi ridiculously cutting weight to 114, which
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
What is? Doesn't she normally walk
bonkers.
around like 130 something?
I would, if I'm guessing,
Yeah.
yeah.
But nobody really knows. No men really fully understand women's weights.
Or women's bodies for that
No,
matter.
no concept. Also, I don't understand men's weight. I've been like 260 since I was 17. So anytime I meet like another adult male, I assume we're all 225.
We're about the
or
same.
heavier.
Yeah. That's
Like,
true.
oh, everyone's here about 225. And they're like, no, we're $180. I'm like, that's crazy.
How?
How do you manage that? Sub 200 is barely male.
Kind of seems like it.
Did you see Jamal Browner's big deadlift then?
Dude. I mean, it just looks like he could triple it.
Yeah, that's what we were just saying. Like, do you pull 315 that fast?
No, I don't do anything that fast anymore. I want
Exactly.
a goddamn robot leg and a busted hip.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's something else.
Dude, Steffi's lifts were amazing. Hayden's an animal. Like, Hayden does not get nearly enough credit as the lifter he is.
He's like the grinder champion, isn't he?
He is. Everything's the same speed. Yeah.
So there's another dude that works with Hybrid, Francesco, and that guy's crazy, crazy strong, but essentially anything on the bar over 135 is a grind at the, like it's RPE 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing, but it just always moves and he finishes the lift. Like I've seen deadlifts that he'll hit the first one and I'm like, Jesus Christ. And he does it for 6.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would have definitely just done one of those.
Yeah. I've never understood guys like that can just grind out a lift.
Yeah. Just no explosivity in him whatsoever.
Yeah. So you're back in St. Louis now. Is Columbus your next big trip or?
Flew home this morning and then off to the Arnold, man.
Yeah.
What else was cool with the meet? I was super stoked. Bonnie got to compete and benched, so that was fun to hang out. I haven't got to kind of be part of a meet that she's competed in yet, so that was cool.
Cool. Were you a handler then?
I just basically gave a handoff. I'm not really capable of much else.
Well, that's something.
You're part of the success.
Yeah.
Sure. Yes, I basically claim most of it.
And speaking of the Arnold coming up, I see the Hate Brands booth is in a different location this year. You're a little bit closer to where we're at this year. I see what I'm personally curious what your reason was for
moving.
Yeah, for moving.
There wasn't a lot of spots open when I went to pick it.
That's a good answer.
High strategy.
Here I was looking for some really in-depth
some insights.
Yeah, I was like,
and then as I was looking for spots, like the whole area where Hybrid and them are is kind of where I wanted to go this year.
Yep.
And there wasn't any.
Yeah, but Hybrid's right by the cage, I think, right?
Yeah, of course. It's killer for them. But I've been over there before. I was over there for 2 years, and the cage is great because there's a ton of traffic. But
yeah, I don't know though.
It doesn't move.
No, I don't.
It's a lot of
it
traffic.
ends up just getting really stagnant, and so no one's buying shit from you.
And it's a lot of traffic with their backs to you too.
Yeah, super cool. My favorite.
Yeah. Like, hey, come stand around my booth and pay attention to someone else.
Make sure you don't take your wallet out.
Something else and make it hotter.
Yeah. we had that discussion here internally and kind of came to that same conclusion. That's probably not our best bet. Even, it's a cool place and a lot of cool people to be around, but at the end of the day, we are kind of going there as a business to hopefully sell some things. Shit. And it is fun hanging out with everyone and stuff, but we also have to make some decisions based on selling some product. So
yeah, I feel the Arnold is far less of a hangout than it is. It's an absolute fucking disaster of a work trip.
Yes.
Yes. Work trip is exactly what I think a lot of people you're going to the Arnold. It's think it's 3 days of partying.
And I get that for most of my travels. And I'm like, no, this is what I do for a living.
Right. Yeah. Right. Where if you were literally just going to, and it was a party every time, everywhere you went, your business probably wouldn't be near as successful.
Doesn't run great that way.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's it takes a bit more planning than just hitting the gas pedal and saying fuck off to everything.
Well, but I did read that once you have an online business, you just set it and forget it. It just takes care of itself. It's passive income.
Essentially, as soon as you start your own business, you're making about $250 a year.
Yeah. Well, and especially apparel, it's so easy. All you have to do, if you just think of a couple things to put on a t-shirt, it's free sailing.
It's the easiest thing. Most of the time, I usually start with the quick brown fox jumps over the log, and then figure out what text is going to look super sick, and then from then on, I have a weird dartboard with a bunch of pretty catchy stuff on it, and I just throw darts, and then I pick those 2 words together, and there we go.
Step 4, profit.
Step 4, profit.
Yep, that's right.
Fucking underwear gnomes.
South Park references. There's never a bad time.
It's an amazing show.
It is. That's been a topic. We play a game on here every week, Matt. It's called Overrated or Underrated.
Okay.
The rules are not all that complex. I should rephrase that. The rules should not be all that complex, but we probably purposely make them complex.
Well, we don't want to make sure that anything is left out.
So. Right. They're very detailed. Maybe not complex, but very detailed. Today, if you're willing, you're going to be playing Overrated, Underrated. But before we,
Yeah, I'm here to send it.
okay, great. First, I'm going to read you the rules though, just to make sure you're fully on board with what you're in for.
Okay.
Overrated, underrated consists of lightning round questions asked by myself to you, Matt. The questions come from a variety of topics, including, but not limited to, pop culture, current events, food, and technology. There are also lifting-related topics sprinkled in. It's important to remember that the questions are, in fact, lightning round, but the answers are not necessarily. You have your druthers when it comes to the length of your answers. What are druthers, you ask? Well, Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines druthers as a person's preferences in a matter. All that being said, there does have to be a final answer. The initial issue of overrated or underrated must be clearly resolved in the end. Do you feel like you...
So there's no middle of the road?
There is not. You cannot say that anything is appropriately rated. So there has to be overrated or underrated. And I think an important distinction here that we have to clear up with people a lot of times is it's not, do you like or do you dislike this thing? You have to think about how it is actually rated, either
in culture, but not to me personally.
Well, it's
you
weighted
figure both of
ways.
those.
Yeah, really it does come down, but you do got a lot of people just think it's either like or don't like, and it really is. Is it overrated or underrated?
Right.
And as long as you're talking out loud, we'll get behind your reasoning.
All right, I'll party.
Okay. All right. So some of these topics are a little more catered for you. So topic number 1, overrated or underrated, Highland Games, the sport.
Underrated. I loved it, man. Especially underrated within the strength community. I mean, this is a sport that if you're a little bit more athletic and you don't continually have to keep bashing the shit out of your body via heavier weights and just complete linear progression to your entire career, since the implements never change weight, if you're a more athletic guy who's explosive, you just got to learn to throw them further by moving faster.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just the raw strength thing with a total. It's kind of cool that no matter what, over time, it's still the same weights that everyone has thrown.
Right.
I think it's a really great strength sport at the professional level. I got to travel around the world. 20 plus weekends a year. You can compete a ton. I made good money doing it. I made probably 25 or 30 grand most years I competed. And you get to hang out with your friends. They put us up in hotels and there's some prize money. Like if you're a top 10 pro,
you can make
you absolutely have this hobby and it be completely free.
Right.
Yeah, you can't say that about many strength sports.
No, exactly.
Fuck no. Was it 29,000 people they have the USAPL Nationals?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it does go for a month now. So
we like to call it USAPL Nationals Month.
Oh man, just nobody sees that yet. As it's just here to make money.
Yeah.
Well,
cool.
On the topic of Highland Games, Matt, you are talking to Northeast South Dakota's Class B champion and 5th place competitor right here. So we're all pretty elite competiters now that I think about it.
The three of us speaking in this conversation,
understand.
We all have a lot of things we can relate to here. That's true.
Let's not kid ourselves in any way. There is this cool competition that elite throwers get to go to, and it's called the Olympics. I wasn't invited to that.
Yeah. See, no. It's all about creating more and more sports. You get a little more obscure.
Subdivide it a little more.
You just get a little more obscure, a little more divided until we can all be good at something. You just haven't had to. You had to maybe create some divisions to find your niche to where you could be good at it. We just had to go about 5 more steps farther than that, and we can be good too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I was a very average strongman, a very average weightlifter. I was an average thrower in college. Like I fucking hounded a couple good strength sports. I wasn't a very good geared powerlifter or raw one for that matter.
But you did find it though. I mean, did you? I mean, have we? I don't think we said you're the world champion. What was what year were you multiple year world
2012, 2014.
Okay. So that is pretty sweet.
I picked up 2 of them. Yeah, it was man. I'm super proud of it.
Yeah.
It's really weird, and especially like with the other strength sports out there. One of the kind of cool things about Highland Games is like we don't have all the federations. And so it's really just each game invites and the athletes compete, and we kind of keep records throughout the year as far as
Yeah.
rankings. And so at the end of the year at a world championship, like, it's not up for debate of who the best guy in the world was
Mm-hmm. Right.
because of where they lifted and the rules were, or the, whatever that,
Yeah. They've
or weight
proved it over
classes
time.
even.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not even fucking weight classes. And so, like, if you win the world championships,
You're the best.
like, not only are you the best, but like the years I won it, I'm confident to say that there wasn't anyone on the planet that could beat me
Right.
because they're all on the field. Like, there's not just some asshole who's randomly good at this.
No.
Just sitting back.
We know we've been just assholes that have randomly done it. And at least in our case, we were not randomly good at it. So,
Nope.
But that thing I always found really cool about the sport,
Yeah.
that, like, you know where you really stand.
Mm-hmm.
that's cool.
Yeah. I get behind that.
Yes. But you are saying, without a doubt, unequivocally underrated.
Underrated. I think it should be higher rated.
Okay.
Is that how that should work?
Yep. You have your
Okay.
druthers. You do have your druthers, and you utilize those, so that's fair.
Excellent.
Overrated or underrated Iceland?
Underrated. Man, and I really want to lean toward overrated just because the prick in me and the amount of tourism that Iceland gets now
Yeah.
makes me the asshole that's like, oh, my favorite band's popular. But
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
kind of
But at
blowing
the
up
same
right
time,
now.
like,
yeah.
Iceland is that fucking rad. And I'm glad that they're getting this income now of all the tourism. Because, man, they had a rough fucking couple of years in 2007, 2008 when the economy crashed. And so
Mhm.
this all coming around for whatever reason it is. And honestly, which is even crazier, is you can almost say Instagram saved their fucking economy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's believable.
Right.
Like, that's a super reasonable thing to say. That
Yeah.
And it's fucking nuts. And the country's still amazing. And I love being there, and I go every year. Underrated. Yeah, everyone should fucking love it more than they already do.
Very good. Okay. Got a list of here, but we typically only do two topics, so I'm trying to hand pick your next one. We'll go with overrated or underrated sunflower seeds.
Oh, overrated. Just a lot of fucking work, a lot of sucking, no fucking meat to that thing.
But what about if they add the flavored powder to it? Does that change your
Oh,
perspective?
I'm not saying they don't taste good,
Okay.
Okay.
but there's other things that taste just as good that don't suck.
Mm-hmm.
Very good point.
You can get flavored cashews. I don't even have to fucking pick anything apart. I can just mouth through it, barely breathe.
And like actually feel like you ate something by the time you get done.
No, 100%, yeah. Instead of, at least my mouth feels like it's ripped to shreds, like I've eaten Captain Crunch and I have a bunch of bullshit seeds in my mouth.
I definitely hear you on
Yep.
that one.
Yeah, it's fucking overrated.
Overrated on the sunflower
Take that
seeds.
in your bullshit ass baseball, go somewhere else. Take a dip like they used to.
Yeah, like the men did.
A little bit of mouth tobacco never hurt anybody. You ever heard of Mike Schmidt? He's doing fine. We'll go to Dayton, Ohio, boys, and we're going to drive right up to his yard, just like we've been talking about. We're going to get a handful of that fucking grass and run like hell.
Okay. Oh, overrated or underrated Valentine's Day is your final topic.
Overrated.
Okay. What'd you go with?
Overrated.
Okay.
It's overrated. It's another one of those. I mean, as much as the fucking hippie in me just wants to rant and say that it's, created by capitalism, is this now weird holiday of gift giving when you should be that way with your partner.
Right.
That I don't need a fucking special day on the calendar to do this.
And by do this, you mean buy a heart-shaped box of chocolates that
Yes.
nobody really wants to eat that
Put your
bad.
penis in
And
it.
even at the purest form of like treating Valentine's Day not like the cheese dick, just flowers and bullshit.
Yeah.
That whole expectations of the date, expectations
Yeah.
of fucking all this weird shit because we've been pushed it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. If two people want to fucking hang out and get all romantic, I think they should do it whenever the fuck they want. Don't need an excuse. Or
Not
a
have to wait.
manufactured time to be romantic.
But what about that special day where you get to wait in line for an hour with your honey at Applebee's? On that,
I'd be
for
going
that
to
sweet
Outback.
Valentine's dinner.
One.
Get that blooming onion.
Outback for sure. Man, I've eaten Outback way too many times in my life. Like traveling, like the 10 years that I did the outside sales job, I mean, trying to eat consistently at all on the road with an expense account. Fucking Outback,
The
dude.
Outback is where
I don't even look at a menu. I know that I'm going to order the large ahi. For the appetizer, I'm going to have a Caesar salad without the croutons, and I'm going to order whatever the biggest ribeye they have is.
Yep. That's a good sounding
All right,
order.
thanks. And then I leave. Sad. Eat at the bar by myself, halfway to watch some sports ball, and then get on out of there.
Yep. That's the experience.
That's why they call it the Outback.
Yeah.
That's right. Australian food is really delicious.
Steak. Okay.
Yeah.
But you did say also very overrated on Valentine's Day.
Overrated Valentine's Day, yeah.
All right, that wrapped up our overrated underrated game. I think you did well.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We'll give you at least one honorary JD Power and Associates trophy for that.
Ooh. Now we're fucking talking, boys.
Yeah. We don't just hand those out to everyone.
No. Just most.
Well, that's
people.
good to know.
We're not like Chevrolet just throwing those out at everyone.
On the show.
Yeah.
No one's ever questioned like who the JD Power people are.
We have a little bit. Not enough to really
Have
look
you looked
into
into it?
No, we've
not
just
that much.
questioned it verbally.
Yeah.
We're questioning it.
Oh man, I went down a weird rabbit hole. You guys got a minute?
Oh yeah.
We always got a minute.
All right. So bear with me. I'm a little cooked. So I'll focus in on a thing, and this is kind of one of the weird ways my brain works. So do you know the things that like slow piss down in the urinals? So the splash guards.
Yeah.
So there's a variety. Of
Just wait. The ones that kind of have almost like the fake turf to them, or just the little
any.
rubber ones?
Yeah.
any.
Okay. Any. Okay.
So what I'm thinking about is like there's multiple versions of these. We've seen a ton of variety.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to believe that these are different companies that manufacture these.
I would think that.
Right.
Maybe.
So like I want to know what the competitive piss splash guard game is out there, and like who's the Larry Wheels of that game? Like who's the man that whole industry
Who is the innovator?
bitch.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like who's the guy who's like, oh my God, he reduced splash by 15%. Like I want to know the ins and outs of this whole world, and like who pays off who to get the whole airport gig.
Yeah.
And like, is there some like weird engineer? It's like, no, this is the best if they'll just give me a shot.
No.
I hope so.
It's probably a deep secret culture, I bet.
Yeah.
Like, is there a whole side of Instagram that's involved in this world that I don't know about?
It's like the lifting thing that we all check out on Instagram all the time and stuff.
Yeah, it's just I assume everyone's Instagram looks like mine, and it doesn't. But like, there's people out there that are just into making these perfect piss guards, and then like maybe fans of the industry that can't quite get a job, and they make like DIY ones.
Yeah, they're just waiting for their big break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This fucking dude is like trying to just sell it to Sam's. Like goes to the hardware store at Home Depot, and he's like, just buy 10 of them. Buy 10, please. Let me show you.
Yeah, just sending P guards to everyone.
It is.
And he's just now pissing in front of Home Depot on top of it. He's like, fuck you.
It's funny how I associate Instagram with like our corner of the world. There's so much more to it than that, but I just think about it as someone says Instagram, I just mentally picture.
If I ever get my hands on my wife's Instagram and see it, I'm like, what even is this? This isn't the same app even.
Yeah. This is, what are you even doing with it?
Yeah. What all do you got your So podcast going on still?
Yep. So podcast. So doing 1 to 2 episodes a week. So trying to knock out 2.
And are you traveling mostly for recording most of those, or
I have only done them in person.
Okay.
And that's 112 of them now.
That's pretty good. That's a lot of
traveling.
traveling.
In-person podcasting.
On our end, this is our 201st episode, but you are literally only the second person we have done a phone. Oh well, the second episode that we've done phone interviews with. So
Oh,
this
nice.
This is kind of a new thing that we're experimenting here with a little bit.
Well, man, it opens the doors so much.
Right. Now we can put your name on the episode.
Think you get as good of a conversation. You know?
We 100%
exactly.
agree. Yeah.
Yes. Very, very much. That's very much true.
We're just
So I've really enjoyed doing it. I really like doing the podcast. I've enjoyed being guest on people's, and talking's basically the only thing I got left. Since my body's crumbled to bits.
It's betrayed you.
It did. It just turned its back on me. And then YouTube channel is still Matthew Vincent. Got some new stuff coming. I just hired a videographer, so
Nice.
it's going to be a bunch of new content there. So someone to help with the editing, since he was just kicking the shit out of me.
Cool. I followed along on
And then,
your YouTube
hey,
channel for quite a few years now, so it's good
Thanks,
to see,
man.
good to see it still rolling. And I haven't listened to every EMSO episode, but I do most podcasts I follow. I pick and choose, but
Yeah, of
the ones
course.
I've picked and chose, I've been happy with all of them.
Thanks. I'm glad you dig the show. I like getting to do it.
I like you conversations that you've had with Jordan up in Canada.
He's fucking great.
You guys sitting around smoking a few joints, and
Yeah,
it's good stuff. It
that
really is
quality
good.
legal weed in Canada.
Yeah.
I like to get weird. Drugs are a good time. Get a little loose.
Yeah, it makes for good podcasting.
Yeah, and it depends on whatever you want to use them for. I mean, shit, we just got back from a week-long thing in Costa Rica doing ayahuasca. So,
That sounds like an adventure.
dude, pretty life-changing, pretty substantial stuff. So,
Good.
it was definitely a really good time.
Well, I did watch a show on Vice on it one time, so
we basically
I
lived it too.
definitely know what
Jason,
you're talking
we all
about.
know.
It's kind of like we know
I
about.
listen to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, we know about Miami because we used to watch LeBron James when he played basketball there and that sort of thing. So we
Kind of experts. on
yeah.
Oh yeah, the Heat.
it.
When they pulled together that super team,
Yeah, the big three as they were.
that's what they were. Where are they now? That's what I keep saying.
Yes, that's what we're all saying. All right, Matt. I guess that's mostly what we want to talk about. But just like you're talking about there, so that's probably everywhere that you can find a podcast, I would assume.
Oh yeah.
And Hate Brand Goods what is the website? Is it Hate Brand Goods?
Thehate.com.
Thehate.com. Okay.
Yeah, I think we've been around long enough that essentially if you search
Right.
Hate Brand Goods, it'll
Yeah.
bring her in.
People really aren't just typing in full websites, are they?
I like to give the address to people as a HTTP /
I will make
/
no assumptions here.
www.thethg.com.
All right. Well, we appreciate having you on. Maybe along with that JD Power and Associates Awards, we'll send you a pair of lift shorts someday.
Oh my God. Is the shipping weird due to the steel case? I imagine they have to come in the Halliburton
Well,
case.
it's the Brinks truck that they have to deliver
Yes.
them in is the bigger issue.
Right.
That's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
Boys, another thing, if you haven't caught it yet, and if you haven't watched the new Fast and Furious trailer, I don't know what you're doing with your lives.
I have not.
What do they call it? Is it Saga or?
Oh, it's a Fast 9.
Fast 9. Okay.
okay.
I thought I saw the word saga in there. I mean, it basically is a saga at this point.
It is.
The 9th one makes
It's
it a saga.
brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah. The first 8 were not a saga. Everyone knows 9 is the saga mark.
I'll fill you in on this. So The Rock's no longer there,
Oh, that can't be good.
but we're gonna have a run-in with Vin Diesel's long-lost brother.
Oh.
I just like part of me hopes that it's just Vin Diesel playing the same person twice.
His twin brother.
It's better than that. It's John Cena.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wow. You can't see him though. Is that a problem?
It's one of those tricky parts about him.
Yeah.
Makes it really cheap to cast him, actually.
Yes.
I do wish it
So-
was Vin Diesel's twin brother and his name was like Rin Diesel.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, nice.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Lynn Diesel's really good. Lynn Diesel definitely sounds like interracial porn.
Yes.
Cousin of Shane Diesel.
All right. Well,
All right, thanks, Matt. We will see you at the Arnold, though. We'll be walking by.
Yeah,
your booth,
100%, man.
We'll keep our tabs on you.
I got it. We can exchange our gold-plated shorts.
Sounds good.
perfect.
All right, man. We appreciate it.
Cheers, boys.
All right, see ya.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
That was Matt Vincent,
Mr. Vincent himself.
and we did it.
We did it. God, it's really hard to keep those conversations short, isn't it?
It is. That's our kind of go. I don't know if we said it, but we kind of try to keep those to about 15 minutes, but that's almost impossible.
Yeah.
We're probably more like 20 or more.
Half hour, I think.
Yeah.
Oh well. All
happens.
for to the listener's advantage.
Right. We better quick, as I think we've got a minute here. We'll just review last week's overrated, underrated topics because we never really did. We're a little out of order on things. With there's changes that we have to
there's
get
been
used
so
to
much
the
stuff going
adjustments.
on. It's
Last week, and these are what we asked Dan last week.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have to help me remember. Air Jordan shoes. He said underrated?
He said
right?
underrated. He did.
The people said 75% overrated.
I was kind of surprised by that one.
Me too. I mean, they're really expensive,
And I get a lot of people have them, but a lot of people just really like them. I don't. Yeah, that one did surprise me.
All-time world records. Dan said overrated. It's kind of
also a little surprising.
Yeah. But the people said 65% underrated, which I'm down with that. I mean, an all-time world record is pretty.
It's
if you just said powerlifting records,
yeah,
that's probably kind of overrated. But an all-time world record, if you can give that classification, that's pretty legit and pretty cool. Then,
yep, it's hard to say that's not elite,
right? Monoliths, Dan.
He said overrated.
This was really close to 50-50. It actually came in at 51% underrated,
and that does not surprise me at all.
Yeah,
I assume that one would be pretty split.
Yes. George Foreman grills. Dan said
I think underrated. He said underrated.
Yeah. The people said underrated. 64% underrated.
I like the photo that you used. It reminded me a lot of my college apartment.
Yeah,
and like those cupboards, that like shitty laminate countertop. Like the whole thing just looked like.
It does. It just look like it's sitting there.
And then that grill with the damn grease tray.
The only thing that was missing is there wasn't enough grease in the grease tray.
Oh, that was the thing that was
It's
missing.
even got that thing. Do you remember having that thing? It's like the little utensil that's.
Oh yeah, like the scraper.
Yeah,
it's
like it's got the grooves.
It's
on
like
it.
the spatula almost.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Someone did comment and say, if you've never taken a regular sandwich and put it in a George Foreman grill, that if you've done that, you would definitely say underrated.
That's basically what a panini press is, though. Like
that's what half of those devices are.
I guess I feel like the idea of paninis didn't really exist in early 2000s either, though.
I don't think so either.
I don't think paninis were commonplace they are now.
Right.
I know if someone told me panini then, I wouldn't have had any clue what that word meant.
No, I don't think so either.
Maybe they need to just bring back the George Foreman grill, just brand it as a panini press.
The
George Foreman
same thing.
Yeah, just the George Foreman panini press.
Yeah. One other cool thing that I just remembered, we got some new signs in the gym, some hand-painted signs.
We did,
Those were super cool, and I just wanted to give that guy a shout out. On Instagram, he's Chris Hale Sign Painter.
Maybe spell it out for him too.
Yeah, Chris is CHRIS, Hale is HALE, Sign Painter.
And he sent some hand painted signs all the way up from Alabama.
Alabama.
All the way from Alabama.
Yeah.
And
really big, really cool hand painted signs.
Yeah.
One of them is, the Massenomics gym, and the other one is like gym rules.
Gym rules, yeah.
And
hop on our Instagram by the time you're hearing this.
check
You're going to
them
have to go back a few posts, but you can see it. The guy does really, really awesome.
He does really cool, like hand painted lettering. He does a lot of work for like tattoo shops and that sort of thing. And he's running off a business off of Instagram. So if you see something you like, just hit him up, and he'll be happy to make it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
But they are really cool looking.
We can speak for it. The quality and craftsmanship, top notch.
Yes, for sure. Is that about what we had to get to?
That's about it.
Okay. You can make sure. Last time we had Tyler to do this for us, but I guess we got to go back to doing it on our own.
We got to do this.
Yeah, we got to do this on our own.
Do we
again.
have a sheet for this?
We need one. But you can make sure to like us on our YouTube channel, subscribe, I guess is the right word. Like us on Facebook. Maybe we'll make a Facebook group someday, but probably not.
Starting Massenomics.
Yeah, starting Massenomics. That's all we got to do to get on Super Bowl ad. I'll do it.
Tip one,
We'll
save
do it.
all your money.
Yeah.
Step one.
What else? Our store is probably the biggest and most important thing. Hop on our store, and that's probably one of the number one ways you can support us by purchasing our flags and shirts and all of our cool stuff on there. Other thing I would say is sharing the podcast. You can leave us reviews on Apple Podcasts if you want. We read those on the podcast. We got a couple to read, but not enough time today. We'll have to save those for next time.
Okay.
So we do have some.
We got something to look
some
forward
good
to.
reviews coming. But beyond that, you could share it. Like if you use social medias, you could share an episode or something you like about the podcast on there, or just
share 201 episodes. I dare you.
That we would have to send you something if you shared like 201, just the amount of time that would take. Yeah. But you could also just tell a friend if anyone's into lifting or lifting podcasts that are about nothing.
Yep, that would be excellent too.
Would be the ones. Okay. I think that about wraps us up then. Tommy, what do you got for the
You can
Instagram?
find me at Tomahawk_D.
And you can make sure to follow the official Massenomics Instagram page at Massenomics. Well, one more thing.
Oh.
Today's show was brought to you by Lifting
not
Large.
least.
Lifting Large has set a new standard for customer service within the strength world. They have live website chat support and speedy email responses. Lifting Large is the home for the ground lock deadlift slipper, and they are always in stock and ready to ship. Massenomics listeners can save 20% on all Lifting Large branded products by using our discount code MASS20 at checkout. Today's episode was also brought to you by Spud Inc. The goal of Spud Inc. straps is to make products that support sports performance and help everyone achieve their training goals. They make products that last forever, won't bust your budget, and most importantly, leave no doubt about success when everything is on the line. Check them out online at spud-inc-straps.com. This episode was also brought to you by Hybrid Performance Method, your one-stop shop online for all things fitness and online coaching. Whether your goals are training related, nutrition and body composition related, or both, Hybrid has a program for you. With dedicated and experienced coaches in each strength and fitness discipline, you can rest assured that you're in the best hands possible. Use our code MASS in all caps for 5% off any training or nutrition memberships for the life of your membership. Visit hybridperformancemethod.com.
Is that it? Is that it? We're done? We're done here?
Let it roll.
All right. See you guys.